If you own a Glock with an MOS cut slide and you've been looking for a reflex sight that's small enough that you can use your factory iron sights, well, this is the Noblex NV. And if you've never heard of this German brand, that's okay. You're probably more familiar with the company it shares its history with, Zeiss. And that rhymes with nice. Let's skip the boring unboxing videos and just take a look at what you get inside the box. This is the Noblex NV reflex sight. It is designed for Glocks with an MOS cut, which is the standard Glock cut, and it is designed to be low enough so that you could use your factory Glock iron sights with this unit on it. And it is a very small unit and would have to be to fit that low. It is about 2 inches long, about 1 inch wide, and a little less than 1 inch tall. And this is a very low profile reflex sight, very low base on that to allow you to use your iron sights. And to get it this small and compact, it uses a fairly compact battery. It uses a CR1220 battery, which is a fairly small one. It's almost the size of a button battery, but it is a coin battery only. It kind of crosses between the two in terms of size. But because of the smaller size, it does have a 10,000 hour battery life between replacements, which is about a year's worth of runtime. And this is one of the smallest units that has an automatic brightness adjustment. So it adjusts the brightness for your ambient light. There's 2 buttons, a minus button on the right side of the unit and a plus button on the left. To manually turn on the unit, you tap on the plus button, and to manually turn it off, you press for the minus button for 3 seconds. And to override the manual setting, you just press the plus and minus to adjust your brightness, and to reactivate the ambient brightness, you just press, or deactivate it, you just press the plus button for 3 seconds. But overall, the unit has a fairly small 4 MOA dot, though it looks a little bit smaller than 4 MOA to me, but you know, I don't have a caliper. I'm not going to be putting a caliper up to the reticle here. It's a pretty small, very precise little dot here. And it's made of all aluminum, and this is made in Germany, so you got your German engineering here. I'm assuming 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. It also comes with an accessory plastic cover that snaps onto the front here to give a little bit more impact resistance and marring resistance to the frame of your lens here, which is a 23 millimeter lens. But it also comes with a full silicone cover to keep dust, debris, and off of your lenses. Now, the unit itself, you don't necessarily need this for water resistance, since the unit itself is IPX7 rated. But if you've ever used a reflex sight in the rain, you know that having water on the lenses, either to the front or especially on the inside, is going to affect your visibility, or having dust on the inside especially is going to affect your readability. So having a full silicone cover that, as you saw, pretty much gives you a full seal on this, does help keep this clean and usable at all times. So we're going to get this mounted up, and it does come with a set of screws, and it also two tools. This is your installation tool. It looks like a key. It has a flat end on one end and a torque screw on the other for installing the screws here. The flat end is strictly for installing your battery. It would have been nice if they would have also had a smaller flat head to allow you to adjust your windage and elevation. It comes with a separate Allen key, flathead Allen key, to adjust your windage and elevation, which are accomplished over here. But yeah, it's 2 separate tools for that. All right, let's get testing this out. Before we get started with the test, I'd just like to take a quick break here to talk about this episode's sponsor, Aura. For the cost of just a VPN, I'm getting a whole suite of security services, including $1 million in identity theft insurance, and they're even removing me from those damn data broker listings. Use my link, aura.com/moondog, and you can try them for 14 days, free. And if you use that link, you're helping to support this channel. You know, identity fraud is a real thing, and with AI, it's all too easy to spoof your identity. That's why you should try out Aura. All right, let's get back to the tests. As you can see, the NV's dot co-witnesses with your iron sights, though I did note that at its maximum brightness, it's not super bright. I ran through a box of 50 rounds at 15 and 25 yards, and the red dot functioned flawlessly without any flickering, and it held 0. Before we start talking about this reflex sight, let's just make sure this is safe. No rounds in the chamber, no mag in the magwell. So yes, this is safe to handle because we always practice firearm safety on this channel. Safety is paramount. And if you agree with that, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and notification bell buttons, which is free, by the way. You don't ever get charged when you're a subscriber to this channel. So I want to thank you for taking a moment to press those buttons. And I also want to thank Noblex for sending out the NVOS for me to test out. This is a wonderfully crafted piece of German engineering. You can feel and hear every index of the adjustments on the windage and the elevation. And there's no sharp edges at all to any of the cuts here, which you won't find in cheap knockoffs. And in fact, you'll probably seen a bunch of these inexpensive reflex sights on Amazon or wherever that there's 8 or 10 different brands. They all sell the exact same looking reflex sight that has no logo on it. Chances are it is a knockoff, a direct ripoff of a Noblex and previously Doctor design, because Noblex bought Doctor a few years ago. So that's where we get the Doctor footprint on a lot of micro reflex sight. But this is a very innovative and really well-designed reflex sight. It is one of the few that is low enough that you can mount this directly onto your slide and use your factory iron sights with this. It absolutely co-witnesses with your factory iron sights, at least mine, on my Glock 17 here. And this has some trade-offs though to get it the base that low. There's not enough room for a side tray, so to replace the battery you actually have to take off the unit and replace the battery through the bottom. I kind of wish that they could have made this so that the battery compartment was accessible through the top, but because again it is such a low design, there's not enough room in the front anymore to put a light sensor, and that light sensor is needed for the automatic brightness. So the light sensor is actually on the top here, and that's probably why they couldn't put the battery compartment accessible through the top. And because it is such a thin design overall, they have to use a smaller 1220 battery, which reduces the battery runtime of this to 10,000 hours, just a little over a year. But that's when you have to replace the battery. And if you do have to replace the battery and put the unit back on, you have to re-zero it. But again, because it is absolutely co-witness to your iron sights, that's a breeze, because all you have to do is adjust it so that you can see the dot is resting on top of your front post. So Bob's your uncle, you're re-zeroed out. So in a sense, it's not really a problem. What is a little bit of a disappointment is because this is designed to be on all the time for the full 10,000 hours and run off of their automatic brightness, I really wish the brightest setting on this was brighter. It's not quite noonday out in the open bright enough to see the dot. This is really meant to be more of an augment to your iron sights, to use it in lower light or night situations. At least that's my take on it. Let me know in the comments why you think they limited the absolute brightness, top brightness of this, or if you think that's a deal breaker or not. But if you are interested in picking up this Noblex NV, when it is a really nicely engineered and put together reflex sight, I've included product links as well as more information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. You'll find a link to that article in this video's description. Use the affiliate links in that article to help support this channel. And I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video and leave your comments. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.